All right, everybody. Welcome back. It's the big thing. We're going to do everything. We're going to recap what went down yesterday. Super Bowl, they had a bunch of trailers. But as you saw in the headline of this and what a lot of people were talking about, and that's that Flash trailer, man, and the return of Michael Keaton. Did Michael Keaton steal the show? I think he did. It was a great game yesterday. Really good game. But Michael Keaton was the talk on our side of the town. Guardians had a trailer, but I'll tell you what. For the most part, the trailers were pretty lackluster. Because there weren't a lot of them. There were these 15-second, 30-second things that dropped, and Air also had a pretty good trailer, but that's it. And Fast 10, but that was from the other day, and they just repurposed it. So I don't know. We'll talk about that and more, but we're really going to kind of lay into the Flash and kind of get into that and see if the hype is going to really carry that movie over, and where do they go from here, and the kind of buzz and the excitement. And don't worry. I know that everybody's wondering, well, when you got to really dive deep into DC and the comic book stuff, who do you get?
Yes, indeedy, folks.
You got to get Brett Sheridan. So it's just Brett and I talking about all things, and Brett is the expert on the show. So make sure that you tune in because we're going to go nuts. By the way, I need you guys to help me out here. Apple Podcasts, but Spotify. Spotify, we're on video right now. And we were in the top charts on Spotify because people who started checking out the video. Please download us and follow us on Spotify. If you have Spotify, please. I want to show them how strong the community is. I want to go, oh, look at that. We were number 40 in the TV and film chart. First time we kind of charted on Spotify, and I think we can get even higher if I had all you guys go in there and follow us. And like I said, it's on video, so you can check us out over there. We have a bunch of other things. We got patreon.com/thebigthingshow. Tons of things that we're doing, Q&As and one-on-one sessions. It's been great. Merch, show some class, just a little. And speaking of show and class, show a little. We just crossed 66,000, everybody. Yes. And now we're almost there to 70. We're almost to that road. It's like Brett and I are like Kermit and Frozzy. Frozzy? Yeah, good old Froz.
Oh, Froz was always up to no good.
Fucking Froz. That's Brett. Brett's going to be Frozzy from now on. Froz. Yeah, Froz. Kill it. Anyway,
Welcome back to Kermit and Frozzy. Yeah.
Frozz-a-la-roosk. All right, Froz, take it easy. It's not your time yet, but it will be. We'll get into it. That's the intro. And what I really love, by the way, I'm absolutely loving the fact that we got Carbon Health, man. I've told you about Carbon Health. This episode is sponsored by Carbon Health, and you guys know I've told you about it. Over 120 locations that handle urgent care, COVID, RSV, and flu testing, vaccination. But you also need to look into how they are expanding their primary care services that include connected health, which is the idea that our health isn't just about our bodies, it's about our mind. Carbon Health's providers, they come connected with mental health specialists as well. Carbon Health has expanded their primary care services, and if you're in Massachusetts, you can access the connected care now. It's now expanded from California to Massachusetts. Carbon Health. Excellent urgent care and testing center, but don't sleep on their primary care services. We love Carbon Health. We've been with them for a while. We're excited. And they're always, you see these Monday episodes, it's Carbon Health, baby. All right, let's get into it, everybody. It is the big thing. It is me. It is Frozzy. Let's do it, everybody. I'm ready. You're ready? Cool, let's do it. Perfect.
It's a whiz banger.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the big thing. It's me, Frost.
I'm looking good, boy.
Stand up and show me your shirt. Where is it? Look at that. What a disaster. Look at this. Where is it? Sweat.
Hanging a motion light. I should do it when is the sun the hottest back there? That's when I should.
And the crazy thing, it's like 30 degrees.
Yeah.
Like 30, it's like not 30 degrees, but it's like 40 degrees out here right now.
Just
and
like
it's
dead sunlight, installing a solar panel for the motion light.
Unbelievable.
Perfect.
Sweating like JTE in a spelling bee. Unbelievable. Welcome back, everybody, to the big thing. Glad to have you with us. Excited. I was editing that Katie Sackhoff interview today. It's really good. I'm really excited. People are asking when that's coming out. It's February 27th. It's myself and it's Brett.
Yeah.
And Katie. It was really good. There's a lot of good information into it.
She's great. She's just great. Super chill and like what an easy interview. She must be
familiar.
Yeah.
She's just, it's comfortable for her and all that. But the other thing I also wanted to let everybody know about before we start getting into this thing, this comes out today, and we're going to be performing stand-up comedy, myself and Brett, and it is tonight at Flappers Comedy Club. Now, look, I'm not going to lie to you. Brett, how are you feeling?
I'm nervous as a whore in church, as they say.
It sounds like it.
Oh.
So this is what I need from you guys. If you have bought a ticket, what I love is we've sold out the February 19th show with myself and Campia and Alba. If you bought a ticket to that show and you didn't buy a ticket tonight, I have come to the realization that you hate this man.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't like him. You want to see him fail, and that's why you're not coming to the show. We're both performing. We're both going to be doing stand-up tonight, and you guys could really be there to give Brett some encouragement. But instead, you're just going to watch the Flash trailer again.
Yeah.
Which I can't say that I blame you. What a great trailer this was.
Oh, yeah.
It was really, really something special because I was waiting for it. They did like a trailer for it 2 years ago at Fandom because they didn't know when they were going to put it out because of the pandemic and all this. So then they pushed it back, and then all this shit went down with Ezra Miller. But they pushed it back now, and they pushed it to June. And one of the main reasons they said they pushed it to June is because it's been testing like really good. People are saying it's like one of the best superhero movies like of all time. My criticism with the movie is some of the CGI looks a little off, but that's still we're still not in. It's June when it comes out.
Yeah,
and it wasn't like Supergirl looked a little CGI-ish, and there were a few other things here and there, but it didn't take me away from the story at all. I was pretty into it, and I think. We've been talking about with the DCU is like, how are they going to transition this DCU thing that they're going to do with this? If this movie's really awesome, they give a pretty a line inside of this where Barry says to the other, I don't know, Barry says to Bruce. And Bruce is like, why do you want to be, you can go anywhere you want. Why do you want to go in this reality? He's like, because this is where she lives.
Yeah,
I think he stays there. And I think that's how they set the entire thing with now the question how they're going to handle Aquaman and everything else. I think that they set it throughout this movie, and this is going to set up overall the rules of the DCU.
Well, Aquaman is in Fast 10, so that's how they cleared that up.
Right, and he does swim in that movie.
I want to say I was at a small gathering, just a couple of friends.
Autographs?
One in the
autographs?
business,
Yeah.
one his wife not. And when this trailer came on, we think about that. We all know about this stuff, but she goes, they're still putting that out? And I'm like, oh, that's right. I mean, the normal average Joe schmo doesn't realize that, no, they're putting it out. And then the discussion became, oh, it's so good that they're going to let things, allegations or whatever,
slide. Now, there's a flip side to that as well. There are other people, for example, my friend Tommy texted me and he's like, What's this? What's this, a reboot of The Flash? They bring Keaton back? Who's playing The Flash? No clue of anything going on, right? And he lives in California. He has no clue what's going on with. So, like you said, someone inside of the business knows all the allegations and that too. What I also saw a lot of yesterday, there were a handful of people who were just like, I won't support this movie because Ezra.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of that. But I also saw a lot of people going, it looks pretty good, and I want to see Michael Keaton back, and I want to see, because the one thing that I don't agree with them, they're like, well, I won't see this because I'm not going to support Ezra Miller. Yeah, but you're also partially true, but you're also saying to Michael Keaton that you don't want to watch his stuff.
Yeah.
You're also saying to Andy Muschietti, who directed it, that you don't want to see his stuff. So this is the case of, can you, and there's no right or wrong with that. You could very well say, I feel strong enough that I don't want to support all of the actions of what Ezra Miller did, so I choose not to. But you also, which you're making the decision to not to support the movie as a whole. You're not just not
everyone who worked on it. I mean,
anyone
that's
who
where it
worked on
comes down to,
right? And that is also another thing that you can criticize Ezra Miller for their behavior. You're now putting the other people involved in this position. You're like, yeah, people aren't going to see the great stuff that we did because of your actions. And I understand that. And I think that's fair for people to feel that way. But I just think that if they're still, DC is in such a strange position, because you look at the kind of buzz, you can also tell when you put out like trailer reactions and out of the theater reactions and things like that, you can tell which movies are like, kind of, it's a weird way to kind of see tracking as well too. Like when I did like the out of the theater for Avatar, I was curious. I was like, okay, I wonder. And it to this day it is the highest viewed video that I'm the highest viewed video is the John Williams thing, but with me in it, that's the highest one.
That quick little trailer reaction.
Yeah, but that.
I mean, not out of the theater
reaction, but that particular but it's because, and I said to myself, "Whoa, this isn't nothing to do with me. This is all about Avatar." Yeah. This is an indication of it. And the same thing, like when I look at, so Ant-Man did something like 95K. I'm like, that movie's going to do really well. And it's because of the search engine. It has nothing to do with me. It's the search engine. And it's what people are looking like. For example, Creed did something like 40,000. I think that's a way to, it's modest.
Yeah.
And I think it'll have like a modest opening, right? And that it is an indication. And I think that you look at this trailer reaction and it popped. It popped at like 50,000 or whatever it was, and there's other ones that Real Rejects and other people that just popped. This is curiosity, for sure, and it's Keaton. Now, had the movie not done well, I mean the trailer not done well, then the movie doesn't do well. But I think that this trailer is going to bring in a lot of business for DC. That's why they're going to be in a position going, fuck do we do now?
Yeah, got to do it. I think, I'm just wondering also on the other hand of people that are aware of what was going on with Ezra Miller, how many people weren't aware at all of, like,
right.
Because it is still, like, I don't remember seeing news story. I mean, I don't watch the news that much, but
you see it through our business.
Yeah, like entertainment news more so than the regular news, because that's got to be just all about how horrible everything is. Everybody's dying and getting shot.
Right. Well, I told you that I was walking to school with my oldest
neighbor kid.
With the neighbor kid, but the oldest, my oldest daughter, we're walking with her friends, and her dad was there, and we had just had this big discussion on Capes and Cowls about that very thing. And so I said, I'm going to test this theory. And I asked, he had no clue that the Flash was even coming out.
Yeah.
And this was a couple months ago. And this was right in the height of when all of this news about Ezra Miller was coming out. Was not aware of it at all. And so it is, you're right. It is a story that is covered heavily in our business. And if you watch shows like ours, you'll hear about it. If you watch if you're into pop culture news and you're into the movie stories, you will hear about it. It's a massive story. But in the grand scheme of things, a lot of people, I'm not saying this makes it right or wrong. I'm just saying like awareness of the actual thing.
I mean, I'm sure it had been on some things, but not as much so as it has within entertainment news.
Right. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see. But I just think that the trailer looks so good. I think this, and there are a bunch of different trailers, by the way. I mean, obviously you had this one, all the Batman suits and everything too. What did you think of the actual trailer itself, by the way? I mean, like the stuff that popped out, did you get nostalgic?
Oh yeah. No, definitely. And the motorcycle, the bat motorcycle.
Now I said when I was watching that, I was like, is that Bale? Because Keaton didn't have that.
That's right.
And other people were saying that maybe it was Batfleck. It was Ben Affleck in it, because you see Affleck in the trailer.
I think Bale's had one wheel on, and this one had two on the front, and two in the back. So I think it could be Batfleck.
I think it's probably Ben Affleck, but and it would be interesting if they kind of threw that in there to where it was Bale, but I'd love them to be able to throw him in there as well to say, maybe even if it's like for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
He runs into another universe, and while he's there, he
screams at a lighting guy.
He's screaming at a lighting guy while he comes through, and he's like, "Look," he's like, "Your legal problems are way less than mine," and then he runs out of frame. Yeah. And so all that was just that all the shots of the bat suits, but it was the music. And in my reaction as I was watching it, they set it up so brilliantly where he's just like, Are you? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, say it. Say it. Because you just wait. And it's like a wrestler getting ready to say his signature line. He goes, I'm Batman. And you're like, yeah, all right. And it looked great. And how Muschietti shot him, and the music that Danny Elfman scores, he's going through and he's blasting through, and he looks like it's not just like this little role. It looks like he's going to be there helping out the whole time.
Yeah, it was pretty Batman heavy. It was. I'm excited. I'm definitely excited about that element. I mean, it was, and it looked very, again, take whatever's gone down with Ezra Miller. That's a very emotional thing, like where she lived. I mean, like that's just like, oh,
yeah, and he's there working with his other self of Barry, and they have to work together. I'm wondering if that's going to get tired, but
the little comedy stuff with the two
of them, like that they're, but maybe they form a really great relationship. Who knows? I don't know, but it's interesting to see how they're going to play that, because it seems like they both Barrys are together the whole time, and then they kind of team up with Supergirl, who they did say at one point they thought it was going to be Superman's kid, which is not Kara, but they said Kara in here. So this does get to a place where are they going to recast her afterwards too? Are they because they got a Supergirl movie up, because is she's in a different universe? Is she going to? There's so many freaking questions.
Oh yeah, it did make me start to go. There's going to be a lot of like, wait, is that who's the what the?
Yes, I mean
it's there's a lot of splaining to do.
A lot of splaining to do, but they can explain it through this multiverse stuff, because like there's like how, I mean, and that's the other thing that they show is, so in Michael Shannon, who plays Zod, that's from Man of Steel, and then they had that whole thing. It looks like in this universe that Zod wins and defeats Superman and wins, and he kind of takes over, because Barry says, I created a world where there's no metahumans, or I don't know how he does it, but it that was intriguing. And that's why you have Batman, who's not a metahuman. It's just like, maybe I can help. And it's that whole, the two of them are going to work together, or I guess the three of them, or four of them, if you're including Supergirl, will all work together.
It's a recipe for making things work, but also for making just a clusterfuck, I think.
Because
it could be, it's like, oh, well, we have the ability to go like, well, no, this next one, that one's gone, because that was a different multiverse and all this, so metaverse.
So this is the only one that counts. So you make note. Like, I don't want to make note. I go to movies, says I don't have to make a note. Just tell me what counts and what doesn't. That's it.
Yeah. What do I need? What storyline should I follow?
That's right. So I'll tell you the storyline that you guys should always be following. And not only should you be shaving your ball bags, you guys should be trimming your beards. Manscaped, it now sells beard products. That's right. They are once again revolutionizing men's grooming with the brand new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. From a beard trim to a fresh shave, the technology behind the Beard Hedger Pro Kit allows you to shape your signature beard look. You can finally use Manscaped products to make your drapes match your carpet. You got to go to manscaped.com. Use that code BIGTHING for 20% off. Free shipping. I love this thing. And I've told you forever, since the SEN days, I've been using Manscaped. And if you haven't been using it, the Manscaped stuff to take care of yourself down there, then show a little class. You're going to go with a bushel growing tomatoes down there. You don't want to do that. You got to, now it's time to trim your face, and you can do that. You can tame your mane, because the scraggly beard, weird beard sticking out all over the place. Say goodbye to all that stubble trouble, and you got Manscaped's Pro Beard Kit. Think about what they did last time with all the technology, and now think what they can do for your beard. They also have beard shampoo, and they have conditioner. They have beard oil. They have beard balm. It's like everything you need. Like they take the best people in the world to work on these things, and they come up with gold. Brett, you love this thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, because I'm not gonna lie, I use the Manscaper on my face, because you could clean them. But this one has more lengths. Like that one only you could have. There's a couple options with it. This one is made for your beard, so then I don't have to heavily wash it.
It's great. And what you should also do is get 20% off. And how do you do that? Free shipping. Use that code BIGTHING at manscaped.com. You get 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. But use that code BIGTHING. Manscaped. Beard Hedger. One stroke. One guard. 20 lengths. All right. I love Manscaped. You know it. And there's a reason why they've been with us for as long as they have, because you guys have been trying it. You guys have been coming back and going, hey, we like this thing, and we love this thing. And don't go, I'm telling you, do not just go to the store and go, oh, you know what I do? I got to get one of those crappy little razors and do this. It's like, you feel like a professional. I'm telling you feel great. Trim that beard. And you support this show when you do it. So try it out. Use that code, big thing. Let's move on. There was some other stuff inside of the those trailers that drop. And there were did you see this one?
Oh, I didn't see that.
This wasn't a full trailer. It was like, so this was the thing that kind of, this is expectations. And this could very well just be me. And because no one promised anything. There was rumors that you had all these big trailers that were dropping. They said they were going to get The Flash, got it. Guardians of the Galaxy,
Boom.
got it. And then there were rumors that you were going to, the Marvels, that never happened. Then there's rumors about Little Mermaid, John Wick, a full Indiana Jones, a full Super Mario Brothers, a full Transformers, all of that. Never happened. And I don't know who, that could have been just, yet again, expectations of the internet. That no one ever really said that. Our good buddy Ed Haskell had said, well, you got to remember, when it costs a lot of money to run these things. And I said, I get that, but it costs a lot of money to run that little flash spot, which was 30, 40 seconds, and then they put a full trailer out. And same with Guardians. You can't run a 2.5 minute trailer during the Super Bowl. That not only is it going to cost you an arm and leg, it's longer than the freaking commercial break itself. So that makes sense, but drop the trailers. And I guess maybe they just wanted to get, in the case of like Indiana Jones, it's like you were just talking about before with like The Flash, they want to get awareness of it more so than this audience. They want to get awareness to that football audience. People are watching like, hey, this movie's coming out. We'll put out a trailer when it's time. But I was bummed because I thought we were going to get a full indie trailer.
I do feel like this year seemed a little bit more heavier, as the kids say it in English class, of trailers to, because I always remember being hyped. I didn't care much for the game. I enjoyed it, but I was always looking, as a commercial actor, I was always looking for what the commercials were, which one you know, this one seemed like the hype was more towards the trailers because you get to see half the commercials before they even come out. So I thought that was interesting. There was a lot more than, you know, because we did get a small Transformers one, right?
We got all those, minus like the Marvels and John. I think even John Wick dropped something small today, but there weren't any. The only full trailers, again, that we saw that they dropped online were The Flash, Guardians, Air, Fast 10, which was from the other day, and then I think that really was it, because the Mario Brothers wasn't even a trailer. It was like a trailer for like their commercial inside of the movie. Of like the Mario Brothers plumbing or whatever it was too. It was cute. Like people kept sending it to me and I'm like, I can't react to this because it's just 30, 40 seconds of I want to actually see that's just something I won't do. Back in the day on Collider, I think that they would react to all of it. I'm like, I just want to see the fucking trailer because I just want to see if I'm going to be excited about the movie, because that's why, to me, I get a genuine reaction out of it when I'm watching like that Flash trailer and Keaton shows up. I'm like, you know, I think that if it would have been like a 35, 40 second thing, I would have been bummed. Like, Indy, that's my number one most anticipated movie. And I'm like, not reacting to a 40-second spot. It was a good 40-second spot. Yeah. It was.
It wasn't like the Mario thing, you know, which
Mario thing was cute.
I didn't see, but it sounds like, oh, that's cute. Doesn't have anything to do with the movie. Just kind of reminding you that this is coming out.
It's just an awareness. Yeah. It's just awareness. Yeah. And which is, again, I understand the strategy. I totally understand the strategy, and I think that it makes a lot of sense. But I think that the Indiana Jones one, as I was just waiting for something, because a longer trailer for it, because I'm so excited. I mean, I'm so excited for it. It's really looks, I don't know, it's got more of those indie vibes. And even when he's on the plane and he says to Phoebe Waller-Bridge, like, what are you doing here? And she's like, I'm coming to rescue, and then he grabs her and he jump out the plane. What they don't tell you is that Harrison Ford was flying that plane. It's another one that didn't go that well. But yeah, look, it just got that indie feel, man, and the music behind it. And I think PJ Campbell wrote yesterday, what's interesting, you know, what came out in 1989 was Batman. You know, it also came out in 1989 was Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Wow.
So 2023, you got Indiana Jones and Michael Keaton both returning as Batman. It's pretty fun fact, the nostalgia of those two iconic characters, and in the same month, because Flash comes out, I think, like June 23rd, and then it needs the following week.
Wow, that's gonna be a good month.
I'm telling you, man, like it was a very slow start to the year, as we knew it would be, and then we got like the Ant-Man movie was the first kind of start to kick off for, again, we're talking like business wise for us, and like the busy season, if you will. It was Ant-Man, and then it was the Flash, actually not the Flash, the DC stuff was actually first, then Ant-Man. Then I was lucky enough to see Creed 3. And yeah, now it's just tons of shit coming out now. March is going to be crazy with Dungeons and Dragons, Scream. Yeah,
you're gonna be going. I kind of miss those slower times. Not.
I mean, yeah,
financially,
I know what you mean. No, I know
it,
but I know. I know what you mean. It was. I can't remember who it was. Someone said, "Oh yeah, I have some time, and I don't know if I don't know what to do with myself with it." I'm like,
yeah,
it's someone in our business, and I was like, enjoy it. Because it's a great thing to have once we're going to be busy. But you're right. It's like I said to my wife the other day. It was like, yeah, I'll be available to do some of the stuff now. But like, we're in a really great spot to where there's going to be 1 or 2 movies out a week, which is fantastic. And it's good for movie fans. It's good for people who listen to these types of shows. It's good for people who do these types of shows. So yeah, we're pretty pumped about it. It's going to be good. I think that March, Shazam is another one that comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And now you're seeing all this shit now, too.
Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear comes out at the end of this month.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one.
It is.
Bear. I'm wondering how it's going to do financially. I think because it's such a deviation from these other movies, the Ant-Mans, So I'm very curious.
It has the recipe for being bad, because from what I'm in the trailers, I'm like, this can go a little too campy. It could be a little too like throw him more cocaine. He's the cocaine bear,
right.
And I think there's a lot of there's a ton of like TikTok people, not anything against them, but I mean it's like they threw a bunch of people
influencers
in it. Yeah.
They did. The one guy who does like the back store employee stuff. You ever
Do you have any more in back? If we had any more.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. So yeah, that one comes out at the end of the month. That's gonna be really interesting to see.
I think you got to go into with that one with low expectations and just be like, I just want to have fun. And this isn't, because again, it's not. I mean, the real story, I don't think was funny in any way.
It needs to be funny. This movie needs to be funny though, in a way. But I'll tell you who this is a make or break for. Is Elizabeth Banks, because she's directing this movie, and I think she had one that really worked. It was it Pitch Perfect 2? I feel like it was. That did really. She did.
Oh, she didn't do all the Pitch Perfect.
Who directed it? I might be wrong. Let me see who. I want to see who directed the first Pitch Perfect.
I'm pretty sure I'm wrong on that.
Let's see. We'll find out right now. Who directed Pitch Perfect 1? Maybe you're right.
I mean, she was in the first one, definitely. She's one of the announcers.
Jason Moore directed the first one. The second one was Elizabeth Banks. And it did really well. And I think she did the third one too. It did okay. I'm not sure, but she directed the Charlie's Angels, which ate a big pile of farts. And I think that's what she's coming off of now too. Now, if this movie bombs and doesn't get good reviews, the directing jobs are going to be harder to get for her. But the flip side of that is if it plays and it has, because it's got a bit of like that kind of interesting buzz behind it, right? The question is it going to, it reminds me of Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah.
Right. It's got like that. Snakes on a Plane before it came out, people are like, oh, this looks incredible. You're going to have Sam Jackson cursing up a storm, fighting. This is going to be so silly and fun. And it's just not a good movie.
It didn't hit.
It's just not a good movie. If this movie is fun and it's funny, and they have some really good moments in it, then she could be doing really big stuff soon as a comedy director, because you kind of need that. So, but it's a big career-wise, she'll be fine. But I think directing-wise, this is a big movie for her.
I mean, and like you said, this has got a lot of. I mean, the name alone, immediately people like. Of course, I remember we were going through the list, and you were like, I go Cocaine Bear, and you're like, haha. I'm like, no, Cocaine Bear.
I remember, you're the one that pointed it out to us. You're like, I want to see this, and that comes. I mean, that's right around the corner, man. That's right around the corner.
28th, I think.
It's something. Yeah, so it's you got Ant-Man and the Wasp, which comes out this week.
Yeah. And
everybody's going. That's why, by the way, a lot of our friends and peers are going to the Ant-Man screening, so they've abandoned Brett. But you don't. You don't have to abandon Brett. You could be one of those people that come and
is Roxy going to the screening?
Yes.
Oh, man.
That's right. And you can come.
She's like, oh, I went to Ellis's show. I went to.
Yeah, right. Of course. See, Brett's sad, and you can make him happy if you get there. And I don't want to hear it. Like if I see you at that February 19th show, and you're not at this one,
yeah.
Dead to me. That's it.
How dare Ant-Man and the Wasp do this to me?
I know. And what's crazy is that the screening is right next door to the Flappers.
Oh, wow.
However, the screening starts at 7.
Okay.
It's out by 9. You know what's going to happen. They're going to be out. They're going to walk over to the theater. You're going to be off the stage.
Yeah,
already.
be like, bye-bye.
Yeah. So, but the people who are watching this right now that bought tickets, the last joke is on.
Yeah,
is on
they'll
them.
be like, oh, you missed it.
That's right. You missed it. And you know what? I'll tell you what. Here's a joke that we can do for people. If you guys are at the show tonight and you see Roxy or Steph or Winston or Coy or anybody that you guys know that shows up to the show later, I just want you to walk up to them and go, hey, Winston, Coy, I'm so-and-so, and you blew it. And then walk away. I'd really like to see if anybody would do that. Done that kind of thing in a while. Anyway, you blew it. And you guys, you don't want to blow it. You want to take care of yourself. In order to do that, Athletic Greens. That's right. Athletic Greens, everybody, it is the best. I love AG1. I love AG1 by Athletic Greens. They're so good. I've been using them for a long time. You guys know it. They've been with us. They're with us for the whole year, baby. And why? Because I get messages from you guys every day. I was on a phone call with someone today and said that they right after their coffee, they take Athletic Greens, and it makes them feel good and ready to go. This is a guy who has a newborn son, and he's like, I need Athletic Greens in my life, and he's got it. It's so good. It's been part of my life for a while. The sleep quality, holy mackerel. It's so good. I take AG1 by Athletic Greens every day. I put it in a water bottle. I shake it up because I wanted the better gut health. I wanted the increased energy and the immune system. I got all of it. I take it in the morning, right after the coffee, too. I'll probably take it tonight, though, to be honest with you, also, right before the set. And I'll take a bottle of it with me with Brett. And it helped me. I noticed right away with my energy. And the sleep is what I really noticed. Because I don't take a lot of vitamins, and I just wanted to take one supplement, and I wanted something that tasted good. And it tastes good. He said, this is green. It's good. And it tastes like berries. My 5-year-old was like, it smells like berries. So yes, it does. Every scoop, it's packed with 75 vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced ingredients of the highest quality. It gives me major benefits like gut and mood support, boosted energy, and even healthier looking skin, hair, and nails. I can't tell you how many people that have tried it from this show have been raving about AG1 by Athletic Greens. If you're looking for an easier way to take supplements, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. But you have to go to athleticgreens.com/big thing. Go to athleticgreens.com/big thing. Check it out. People love Athletic Greens. People love it.
So good. My wife and I both take it.
It's the best.
Every day.
I mean, it's like routine now.
Yeah.
And it really is fantastic. And I'm so glad that they've been with us for as long as they have been, and they're going to continue to be on the show. And they're everywhere now. They're everywhere. But if you guys want to continue to support the show and help yourself out, when you go to get it, use that big thing code, because that's where you heard about it. That's where you want it. It's from this show, and you want to support this show, so you can do that. All right, other things that we can talk about here. I mean, there was that Transformers thing, and I'll tell you, when that Transformers, I was a major Transformers fan as a kid, right? But I mean, more so than just everybody was, right?
Yeah.
In our generation. But I was really obsessed with it for a very long time. The animated, the 86 movie still, I think, is the best Transformers film to this day. You got the touch, all that stuff. And I remember when I first got out here, Aaron Wilhelm, who people may recognize that name or may not. If you're a Schmoedown fan, Aaron was a very good friend of mine that I went to college with. And Aaron became an editor, edited 80% of the Schmoedown matches. Yeah. I mean, he was in a team with Thad Williams, but a very good friend of mine. But when I first got out here, and Aaron helped me get my first job out here, but Aaron and I started writing a treatment for the Transformers movie. And we're like, on spec. And we're like, let's write it. Let's see what we can do. And we did it. We approached it in a way where they crashed, and this is what happened in the original animated series. They crashed during the time of the dinosaurs, and they're all shut off. The power is down, and then years later, they wake up, and then it's 1986 or whatever the hell it is, 85, and they're walking around doing the thing. That's the structure we took, and then we stopped working on it because we heard they were putting something in development. I don't know. It was. I can't remember how it stopped, whatever it was. But then Michael Bay was working on it, and that came out in 2007. And I saw that. Ellis and I had just performed at the Comedy Store in La Jolla, and we went to see that. It was me and Ellis and Ari Shaffir and like I can't remember, like a few other people went to go see Transformers in the theater at the ArcLight, and I remember being bummed.
Yeah,
people love that the first Bay movie.
I didn't hate it. I went with our friend Leaf.
Yeah,
he hated it. I was like, it was kind of what I wanted. Just I wanted it was cool watching them.
That was
but the dancing around, hiding and seek thing, yeah.
The actual special effects are fantastic. The sound, all of it. I mean, the battle at the end. There's a lot of good stuff in the first one, but it went to Michael Bayish in the same way that I think that, if you look at something like Doctor Strange 2, went very heavy in the Sam Raimi paint, if you will. If you're a big Sam Raimi fan, you love that movie. If you're a big Michael Bay fan, you probably love the Transformers movie. But a lot of people like that first movie. I just thought it had too much Bayisms in it for sure. And then then every other one is so forgettable, and it's just the same shit over and over again, slow motion nonsense and overcolored and all that. And it's just, Bumblebee is by far the best live action Transformers movie that they've ever done. It opens up. I remember Ellis and I went to it just beaten down by how bad these movies have been. And we're like, oh, here we go with another one. And I'll never forget it. Ellis and I talk about it all the time. I want to see if I can get him on a Bluetooth right now just to talk about this. But like, we went and saw Bumblebee. Let me see. Let's see if I can get Ellis. Sometimes he doesn't pick up, but we'll see. Hey Siri, call Mark Ellis. Let's see if we can get him. We're gonna try, everybody.
Calling Mark Ellis.
Calling Ellis. We're gonna try. Let's see if we get him.
Is it coming through?
Yeah, it's coming through.
Oh, there we go. Woo!
I don't know if we're gonna get him. Cold call.
Your call is.
Yep.
We'll just cut all that out.
What an asshole.
An asshole. Ruined the whole show. I remember going to see Bumblebee with Ellis, and we were so beaten down by all the other Transformers movies. They were like, oh, here we go again. So we're sitting there, and they open up a Cybertron. They open up this full animated thing, and we're like, this is it. This is it. And that movie didn't do as well as they wanted it to. Well, first, my biggest concern, or biggest reason, I think, is because they didn't call it Transformers Bumblebee. They called it Bumblebee. And I also think people were kind of exhausted from it as well. So this trailer comes out, this Rise of the Beast, like a month ago or so. And it's on, I put it as a short, and I put it on my actual trailer reaction. I was under the impression that they brought Michael Bay back. So I'm watching it going, this looks different, but it's still Bay. So I'm like, I'm done. I'm like this. I'm just, yeah, you can't fool me. I'm like, you can't fool me with the trailer looks good, but you can't fool me because I know that you did it and I know what's going to be involved. And people are in the comments screaming at me. It's not him. It's Stephen Cable Jr. who did Creed 2, which I liked. I've actually interviewed Stephen Cable Jr., really good guy. And I like his approach to filmmaking. So when I heard that, I went, okay. Because I liked Travis Knight, who did Bumblebee. So I'm way more excited about this movie now that I know that Michael Bay is not directing it. And then that little mini trailer did nothing for me because it was like Mirage and I guess the new human character. Well, I don't know what the hell they're doing. Did you watch the trailer?
I didn't even know they were doing another one, to be honest with you. Okay. And somebody at the party was like, is this a TV show? Or are they doing was there rumor of doing a television show?
I mean, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe always. But I that's one I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. Not because it wouldn't be good, because that I can't even imagine how expensive that show would be. Because that's the whole thing. My biggest problem with all the Transformers movies is you relied too heavily on the humans, and to do a full,
that'd be rough.
Yeah, that'd be expensive. And it would be on Paramount Plus, and they're just starting to kind of like they're not making. I mean, I guess Halo is expensive, and that didn't even do as well as I think they wanted to. But if Taylor Sheridan ain't doing it, it's like. I'm watching that 1883, man. I'm obsessed with that show.
That's what I heard. I heard so many good things about it.
You would love it.
I just still got to break that Paramount Plus bubble.
Oh, you haven't done that one yet? What are you doing right now? What are you guys watching?
Netflix Last of Us.
Oh, okay.
Naturally, yeah. We're watching this show. It's called Physical 100. It's a Korean show. It's not. It's like if you did Squid Games, but nobody's dying. But it's like physical challenges of just these really variation. You've got like guys that are MMA, but then you've got like a cheerleader, and then you've got like it's really interesting and it's really fun and very like nerve wracking kind of a fun show. But I don't know how we came across it. We just saw it one day. That's Netflix.
Yeah. The Last of Us. Did you watch? So I'm.
Oh yeah, we're all caught up.
So I'm right now. I'm caught up on the show, but I'm playing the game, and I've just got to where they've met Bill. And now Bill is because Bill for people in the game he's around. Give you that, and then he give you the shotgun. And when you run around with that shotgun, you're like, oh man, I feel like I'm okay. I feel a lot more at ease now because I can take care of some of these things a lot easier. I was using that little shit pistol and doing it. I made this the second time in a week I've made reference to this movie. Do you remember Harlem Nights? Yeah. When one of my favorite scenes in that movie is when Arsenio Hall's chasing after Eddie Murphy, and Eddie Murphy like dives into like this window, and they're shooting a machine gun at him, and then he got this guy next to him. He's got the little pistol, and he's popping of it, and Arsenio hits the guy. He goes, "Stop shooting that little shit!" This is hilarious. And then Eddie Murphy pops out, goes pop, 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 and just kills them all. But that's where this little shit pistol. But I'm playing that game. And I've been playing the last couple nights, and I really like playing games like this. By the way, I wish this was something. This is why another reason I want people to start making games like Last of Us, because it's a movie. Shows like Last of Us, because I can play up to the point where I know I'm gonna be spoiled, and then I pull back. Right? And from what I heard, that this moment in what happens in this last episode was as devastating as it is in the game. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, so you remember it from the game as well. Yeah, and it's tough because we're watching it with my wife, and my son and I are both spoilers. We'll go. Oh, and she'll go, what? She goes, what happens to them? Oh, okay. We're like, no, that's good. Oh, yeah. Like we got to keep everything under wraps, and Yeah, it's like you don't want to say anything because you want to. You have to tell me if they die. That was the one, by the way. So that I definitely I got the most emotional, I think, in this one. Yeah, this one was. Yeah, rough. I think 3 was really good, but I don't know. This last one had everything in it, and I really loved 3. I think 5 to me was the best episode. This definitely had what my son was waiting for. Oh, it had everything that he wanted. Everything. It had everything. It was great. It shows really, really. So solid, if you just met Bill, you're gonna get ready to go through a pretty difficult part of the game where you're gonna be frustrated. Oh, really? Yeah. Like emotional or just just like a hard. Am I gonna give up? No, I don't think you give up, but it's just one of these ones where you're like. I mean, maybe you have to tell me. Well, it's a game, so if you're gonna be spoiled about the game, what is it? Maybe I'm there already. Well, I think there's a part where you actually get in the house get booby trapped by one of Bill's. Yeah, I did that already. Where you hang upside down. Oh yeah, that one was awesome. Yeah, that I got past that. I hated that. Something about my brain was all messed up. That I got past pretty easy. I'm lost right now. I'm in Jedi. I'm in Jedi Fallen Order, or not Fallen, whatever it's called. Yeah, Fallen Order. I'm in that mode right now because I'm running around the same place in this house, and there's no ladders, and there's nothing. And I'm like, where the fuck am I supposed to go, guys? And no one's telling me. There's no hint button coming up yet. So it's one of two things. It's either throw the controller in the garbage or go on YouTube and find out how other people did it. It's nice watching the show and being old because I don't remember as much. Everything, like my son knows every beat, and he's like, in the beginning, the first episode of Last of Us is like, you didn't have a rifle until later. I'm glad he's putting that rifle in the ground. So he wants it to be exactly like the game? Not exact, but for the most part, I think he wants it to be like the game. He's a kid. Little asshole. Right? He's like, a little bit. Come on. All right, let's see. Let's close out. We'll close out with, we had Indy, which I really liked a lot. That looked really good. The Batman, the Flash, Transformers again, for Mirage showing up, and the Mario Brothers. What else? It's really, the Fast 10. Did you see the trailer for Fast 10 yet? It looks exactly. I've never. I still haven't seen the 9th one. Did you see it? I've seen the first one, and that's it. That's it. Yeah. Oh, dude, when it came. You gotta watch. You gotta watch the. I mean, that's a lot of movies to watch, but like you gotta the 5th movie. Awesome. It really is awesome. And I'm not a hater, and like these are so. I get why people love these because you get what you expect. Well, but they changed it though. The first movie was like pretty much just like a ripoff of Point Break, and then the second one they just kind of put the franchise in. Was it Tokyo Drift the second one? Or was it the third one? I don't remember.
Second or
I think
third,
it was the
yeah.
third. It was the third one. The second one was still Vin Diesel. But either way, they didn't really kind of know what the franchise was. Just kind of a racing thing. By the time you get to the fourth, they started to really venture into what this thing was, and it turned into this big, it's almost like a superhero thing now, because like nobody, it's ridiculous how.
Well, like that, the car jumping off in the flames.
I mean, that happens every movie. I mean, apparently in the last one they went to space. Someone told me, because I'm still coming off of number 8. Someone said, yeah, when you're coming off of 8 going into 10, then you probably still have that air of like, okay, cool. Apparently 9 was not good. Probably 9 was like,
oh really?
That's what they said. I mean, that's what a couple of commenters have said. I don't know. I'm gonna check it out. I'm definitely gonna watch it before I watch 10, because I like to be caught up on everything. But yeah, I think the trailer, it looks ridiculous. It looks fun, and that one comes out. I think that one, is that May? I don't remember when that one comes out, but that's another one that comes out.
They gotta be fun movies to make. I mean,
I'm sure. And Vin Diesel has a blast kind of doing them. So that one comes out. It's another one. I know Magic Mike, by the way, this will be the last story we cover, then we'll get the hell out of here. But Magic Mike was the number 1 movie. Last week was, what the hell was it? It was Knock at the Cabin, which dropped. Titanic, which is hilarious, is Titanic was number 3 this with 6.4, and it overtook Avatar. It's like number 3 now because of the re-release Titanic.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but to make $6.4 million, by the way, for your 25-year anniversary, I mean, right near Valentine's Day, very smart to do. But Magic Mike pulls in 8.2, Avatar: The Way of Water 6.9, Titanic 6.4, 80 for Brady again with 6. That movie's got to be a massive hit, because how much did that cost? $37 to make? How much did that make? I mean, it's made $25 million so far, and the budget, I don't know, they don't give budget anymore, but the budget for 80 for Brady, what do we think that is? What do you think?
I don't know these things. I'm gonna say, how much did it cost to make the Monsters? 40 mil?
It currently costs $28 million.
Okay.
And it's made what? It's already made that back 24 so far, and it'll continue to make it. But I mean, either way, Magic Mike though, 8.2 million knocks it out, and then everybody get out of the way because Ant-Man's coming.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, let's get a number. Almost, it's not a final number yet, but it's getting to that point where you're going to start to call Avatar. And Avatar stands right now at about 2.2 billion. 2.2. Now, does it hit 3? No chance. No chance.
That was my bet.
There's just no way. I mean, ever. I mean, look at Titanic.
Yeah.
25 years later, it's still making money in the movie theater. Ever? Who knows?
With the month that's coming up, I think it's gonna. Yeah,
it's done now, because you got Ant-Man coming up, and then Cocaine Bear, and then Creed, and then Dungeons and Dragons, and Scream, and it just can't. It's not gonna be able to hold off the heavy hitters now. It's been the only game in town as we knew it would be. And it's made $2.2 billion with the third movie already shot for the most part. It's not going anywhere. So, that's it for today, I guess, right? You got anything?
Yeah.
You want to go practice your set?
Oh God, yeah.
Please go.
You know what's tough about that?
Go ahead.
It's just like, when I did sketch and stuff, you do it in front of other people, and like you never know till you get up there how something's gonna work, and how much of you're old or new, or And for me, I got stuff that's really old that I've done 3 times.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, I still throw in some stuff that I have from like my older sets, and but I do a play off of them. Like even like the play on words on the stuff that I had, I add to it.
Yeah.
Right. And like there's other things that as I was writing looking at some of the older stuff, I think there's older jokes that you have that you can rewrite now, because I think until you use it in like a special, that's when I think it's good to go. And I was working on the special up into 2007, and then I said, but I have all this stuff that I could still particularly use, and plus there's other things stuff that I've tested out on this channel with like short form and stuff that I'll probably be doing tonight. So I'm excited to see how it goes, and then dealing with your stress level the whole time. But we'll be there, man. We hope that you guys are there too. Once again, it's going to be the Jake Lewis show. Jake Lewis is very funny. Jamie Costa is supposed to be on the show. Every time I promote Jamie on the show, though, he drops out at the last minute. So I don't know if he's going to be on tonight.
I saw a flyer where he was on it, and then
this was the first one, and then Jamie was added to it. So I don't know if Jamie's going to be on it or not. But sometimes he is, and sometimes he's not. So Jamie Costa could be there, but we will definitely be there, and that's tonight. And I really hope that you guys can make it. I really hope that you can. It's a really funny crew. Jake Lewis is hilarious. Jake Lewis has been on this show before, and he sang one of the songs he'll probably sing tonight. Thank you guys for joining me today. Thanks for joining me and Brett. And go ahead and comment. Let me know exactly what trailers you like the most. Did you think that obviously I think most people thought The Flash stole the show. Are you going to see it? Are you not going to see it? Let's have a debate. Let's have a conversation. Thanks for joining us here today on the show. It's myself. It's Brett. It's a big thing. And don't forget us on Spotify. Spotify. All right, peace out, everybody.